A lot of people are upset, happy, excited, frustrated, turned off by this new show, this new hit show on Fox called Empire. And I haven't came out here and really gave my thoughts and opinions on it. I've shared some things on Facebook through my Facebook group. If you guys are not a part of that, the link will be in the description box. But I haven't really came out here and did a video on it, and that's because I really want to sit back and actually get a grasp of the show. I didn't want to come out and make certain claims or have an opinion about something that I didn't really sit back and really digest. And I think that's very important because a lot of times we'll have people that will be turned off strictly by a particular artist or a particular network or director, etc., etc., and they'll write it off strictly off of the fact that they don't particularly like that network or they don't particularly like the artist or the director, producer, etc., etc. And I think that can be very dangerous because it's important to really sit back and watch things before you critique it. But I sat back and I saw a couple of episodes of Empire, and first I want to say that I'm heavy into movies. I'm heavy into film. Actually, for you guys that know me personally, I was going to major in film, and I decided to go within the criminal justice field. I thought that would be a little bit more stable for me. But I've always been not only a fan of film, but a student of film. Even if I don't get paid for it, I love film. I love creating things. I love putting things together. Actually writing things and seeing people go, oh, look at that there, or I can't believe she or he did that. I've always loved doing that, and I recognize a good script when I see one. And I've checked out Empire, and I will say that the script is compelling. The script does keep people captivated. It does draw people in, and it has a way of keeping the younger generation in tune to the show, because a lot of times people don't know how to do that. The younger generation feed a lot of ratings out here. They bring in a lot of money. So if you're not able to really captivate the young audience, it's going to be very hard for anything you have to really be successful. So when I sat back and I watched a couple of episodes of the show, I thought the acting was fairly decent. I thought it had a very compelling script. I thought the script really kept people in tune, and I can sit back, putting everything to the side. I can sit back and see why people will somewhat be excited on Wednesday night because Empire is coming on, because it does have a very good script. But then on the flip side of the show, I've watched it, and the minute I found out that Empire was coming on Fox, red flags went up, because I know how Fox gets down. They like to display a lot of negative stereotypes towards blacks through their network, whether it's insults, whether it's just putting us out there to look like the big bad boogeyman, etc., etc. Fox is just, you got a lot of racist people and right-wing people over there that really can care less about the image of black Americans. So that automatically, when I heard that, red flags went up. But I also saw a lot of negative stereotypes in the show. I saw the aggressive, loudmouth black woman that really doesn't know how to conduct herself in the business setting. I saw the stereotype and the typical script for a black entrepreneur that quote unquote came out the hood and was able to get itself to a certain level, but within that process did a lot of negative things and basically destroyed his community to get to where he wanted to be at. I saw that in the show. I saw how they had the typical gay black man. There has to always be somebody gay in one of these black shows because they try to pull in the gay demographic with that. You got this character right here. I believe his name is Hakeem. He's like the young, unintelligent, just basically influenced strictly by pop culture and rap music. but really doesn't have a mind too much outside of that, conveying that back to the stereotype that a lot of young black men out here don't know how to conduct themselves in public. They think, move, act, and feel directly towards what hip hop is portraying out through these music videos, or whether it's through the music, playing into the stereotype is that, you know, we really don't have a mind. And then you have this guy here, I forgot this brother's name here, but he, you know, has a lot of mental issues, and he, you know, he's dealing with his own issues within the show. But there's a lot of negative stereotypes, and that's my problem with the show. And when we have people like Lee Daniels that will basically tarnish the black community, display negative stereotypes out here, and really don't give a damn as long as they're cutting him a check, or as long as he's able to get his movies or his production out to the masses, he can care less about the damage that he causes in the process. And this man has came out here and actually said this, and I think, you know, people like Lee Daniels, you know, people like him are just dangerous. These are the people that we really got to shut down. And, you know, I have my issues with Tyler Perry, but also that there's a level of respect for Tyler Perry, because, you know, I see what that brother is doing. I see how he's branched off and created his own studio and is employing a lot of people who wouldn't really get roles. If they had to go to white Hollywood or audition for certain parts, they really would not be seen, and their talents would not be conveyed through the big screen if Tyler Perry didn't give them a shot and a chance. So I have, you know, a little bit more respect for Tyler Perry, even though I have some issues with a lot of the things that he's portrayed within his films. But this Empire show here, you know, it's really it's destructive in a lot of ways. And one of the big problems with this is that a lot of times with black people, we don't have a wide, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't have a wide picture of how we are portrayed here in the world. We're neither out here, we're ignorant, we're loud, or, you know, we're jumping around, smiling and buck dancing, or, you know, we're using improper English, or we're just, you know, just playing into the whole quote-unquote ghetto stereotype. There's not shows out here that depict us in a positive light, you know, show us as lawyers and doctors, or, you know, just regular hard-working black Americans, or Americans in general, just out here really conducting ourselves in a proper way, really showing that, hey, we're human just like everybody else. We're always depicted on TV as being animals, you know, somebody that goes in their community and you know, sells poison to their people, or is portraying in gun violence, or, you know, gang activity. It's always the same negative stereotype. And that's because a lot of the studios in Hollywood don't want to put more positive images out there of black people, because they feel like it's not going to sell. They feel like, you know, nobody or the masses don't want to see black people in that light. They feel like even some black people don't want to see us in that light. But there is a demographic for black people being depicted in a positive way here within the media, within television, and within music and entertainment as a whole. But when we have people within our community that, you know, can care less about self-respect, pride for their people, and will willingly go out here for a check, buck dance, smile in people's face, let them disrespect their community, and display negative stereotypes through a TV show, those people have to be dealt with. And I know a lot of people, you know, have been really, I mean, I've even saw one brother, you know, that, you know, he's been actually, you know, deleting people off his friend list and stuff, because it's actually been more than one person that I saw that was doing that. But, you know, I know with this show, it's neither you like the show or you don't like the show. And then you have some people that are in between, but for the most part, it's neither you like it or you don't like it. And you know, like I say, you know, some people within our community don't give a damn about self-respect or certain images that are being portrayed out here through entertainment, as long as they're entertained, or as long as somebody is quote unquote keeping it real from their perspective. And I know a lot of, you know, black women identify with Taraji P. Henson's role because she's kind of like the aggressive, you know, take charge, don't stand down type of black woman, which is also a stereotype, because there's always, since the beginning of time, the black woman has always had to be, you know, oh, I'm Miss Strong, Miss Independent, I don't need nobody, fucking nigga, I don't need no man, woo to woo woo woo, I'ma tear you off if you get in my face, you know, that type of drama, which really has bitten black women in the ass for the last 20 years. But, you know, like I said, you know, I think Empire, like I said, I think it has a good script, but it's a lot of things in this show that needs to be changed. You know, it's a lot of negative stereotypes. And I have family members that are in love with this show. But me, I can't sit there and support a show that has a negative connotation to it or depicts us in a negative light. I can't do it, because I would be no better than, you know, I mean, I can't come out here and say, oh, well, it's doing this or it's showing this, but then I'm sitting up there and I'm watching it. And like I said, I watched a couple of episodes just to get a grasp of the show, just to really see where it was coming from, because a lot of shows like this go over people's head. Remember when the Boondocks first dropped, a lot of people had an issue with that, but actually the Boondocks was a very intellectual show, and it had a way of holding up a mirror to not only the black community but America as a whole, and how it contributes to the negativity towards the black community. But a lot of times that went over people's head. But I just think that we need more, you know, versatility out here. You know, let's get back to those shows that really had a message behind it, had positivity, and shows like, you know, South Central. I thought that was a very good show. Shows like Rock, where you had a black man that was taking care of his family, wasn't rich, wasn't balling out of control, didn't play into a negative stereotype, but just a hard-working black man that took care of his family. You know, even the Cosby Show, even though I wasn't really a big fan of the Cosby Show, I felt like we needed that in America. We needed to show a black family in that light. We don't need to be always in the hood, you know, or using EBT cards, or always struggling. We need to see a solid black family household with two parents that were taking care of business, that were raising a structured family. We need to see that. But when this is all we're seeing, negative stereotypes, and you got white folks sitting back laughing and look at this. This is just a great show. Look at Taraji P. Henson and how she's moving and talking to Terrence Howard like that. This is great. We've got to pick this up for a second season. When we have that, and we have people with that mindset, and people like Lee Daniels that is willing to throw the black community under the bus for a paycheck or to get his material put out to the masses, we got to stop this. And we really got to come together and get stuff like this off the air. But we also can't have selective outrage. We also can't get mad at shows like Empire because it's on Fox or because it's getting a lot of publicity, but then we don't go after these reality shows out here that have been, you know, basically showing us as animals for the past 10 years. We got to go after those shows too. We can't have selective outrage. But that's all I got to say. You guys give me your feedback. I didn't mean to make this video too long, but I really just had to give my thoughts and opinion on this whole Empire phenomenon that's going on. So you guys give me your feedback.